Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. This is A Shot of Whiskey, and I'm back after a couple months of many small excuses that I shall not go into right now. Well, except for the last one. For about a week, I had been in mourning. An old college friend recently ended his life, and that made it tough to focus on much of anything. But now I'm feeling better, and have decided to make this video in dedication to him. I'm going to circle back to one of those imbecilic BuzzFeed videos and update some of my answers. The one I'll be covering is the questions Asians have for whites, because my friend came from a Korean lineage. Take it away, losers.
Why do you think every Asian person is Chinese? That's like me saying to like a white person, hey, you're English.
I am English. Yeah, still not funny. For those that assume an Asian is automatically Chinese, I still believe that it's because of the statistical probability. Not to mention the nation of China has about 1/5 the world's entire population. And yes, here in 2021, I can believe that this false label might have gone up due to the commie bug. Let's move on.
Why do you think a film or TV show is diverse just because there are one or two black people in it?
Do I really have to say again that nobody thinks that?
We're here too.
No kidding.
Why are the awkward nerd characters the only roles available for Asians in film?
Wow, holy crap.
Assuming that this were true, it'd be because Hollywood is full of bigoted Democrats. Lucky for you, I guess, there are other roles as well, such as martial artists, comedians, eye candy, and others. Geez, I barely watch TV and movies, and even I know this stuff.
We do a lot of other stuff too.
Yeah, and?
Why are all of you talking about our penises?
Because we can. And probably for the same reason why some blacks talk about our roosters. I don't do this because I'm more interested in Asian balloons than in Asian peas.
Why do you think Asians can't be the stars of movies? There aren't going to be any Asian celebrities out there to cast if we haven't been given a chance yet.
Lucy Liu, Jackie Chan. Shut up.
Silence, you funny fool!
Why do you think watching Korean dramas and K-pop makes you an expert on Korean culture?
I still think this is the first question in this video that isn't completely stupid. For the ones who do this, it's because they're young people who think they have the answers to everything, and this isn't new. Ask any grandparent. The same problem has been a staple of the anime fan community. We call them weeaboos, and they suck.
Like, does me watching girls make me an expert in white culture? It does.
I still think that whoever thought this joke was worth putting in the video should never write another joke for as long as they live.
Why do you cast white people to play roles that are meant for Asian people? I'm not going to forget Emma Stone.
Because Hollywood is filled with lefties who don't care about you. Sorry, but that's the truth.
I can't handle the truth.
Why do you think saying namaste is an appropriate way to greet me?
Probably because it's better than telling you to get on your knees.
Why do you think saying ni hao is a good thing to say to us? If you're not actually going to converse with me in Chinese, I don't need to hear it.
Oh, I'm so sorry that some white people want you to know that they aren't the bigots that you want them to be by showing that they are accepting of your culture. But that's not good enough for you, is it? Geez, stuff like this is why many of us know that crybabies like you will never be happy, no matter how much we try.
Why do you think I eat dogs? I have 2 dogs.
They think that because you're Asian, dumbass. And it's a known fact that many people in various Asian countries will eat dog meat. But if we're going to pretend that media and entertainment have any relevance to reality, then we can assume the same thing of Scandinavians, thanks to Skyrim. Having dogs as pets wouldn't mean you wouldn't eat other dogs, by the way. How many people have fish for pets and yet still eat fish?
Why do you think that Hindi and Hindu are the same thing?
Before I learned the difference, I thought that the two terms referred to a particular group of people from India, much like the Scots, and that one term was the plural of the other. But that changed when I became a sophomore in high school and had an Indian woman who... Wait, that's not the right kind. Hang on a sec. Here we are. Anyway, since she was from India, she taught me the difference. By the way, for anyone who doesn't know, Hindu is a religion. Hindi is a language.
You're welcome.
But to answer your question, my guess is that most white Americans, and Americans of other colors as well, either don't care enough to learn, including the leftists you work with, or they made a logical connection that the two relate to one another, but didn't care enough to learn how they are related.
Why are you so surprised that I can speak English well?
I'm not. Why are you so surprised that a white person knows the word ni hao? And why do you choose to get offended over it?
I was born in America.
Good for you.
Why do you always ask me, where are you really from? Because obviously I'm from my mom's vagina.
I still find it hard to believe that this question gets asked anywhere near as much as y'all claim it does.
Why do you guys think it's okay to call me an immigrant or a foreigner? I was born in America.
Why do you think that only white people say that? Or that all white people think that? With how diverse this country is, I assume that everyone I meet on this soil is an American.
I'm the hero!
That is, until they prove otherwise. Besides, part of the definition of immigrant implies that you are an American now. It's pathetic that you leftists don't understand how these things work.
Why do you think Indians aren't Asians? India is literally in Asia.
For the ones that do think this, it's most likely for the same reason why they don't see Arabs, Persians, and other Middle Eastern nationalities as Asians. They're not Oriental. This is part of the problem with PC culture attempting to control and limit speech.
Why do you say it's basically the same thing when I tell you I'm from Sri Lanka and not India? They're different countries.
They're close enough for the average American citizen who doesn't care, which I know is not just white people. But the clowns asking these questions can't ask other non-whites this question because it could lead to more internal fighting on the left. Like I said in my original video, say that Cuba and Florida are basically the same thing.
Why does a person of color automatically mean black to you?
I find the term to be redundant overall, since every skin color is a color, including white. Seriously, open up a box of crayons, don't eat them, and pay attention.
What?
I'm a person of color too.
You're also a bigoted simpleton.
Why do you think all brown people are Indian?
This is probably the dumbest question in the entire video. I guarantee that there is not one single white person in the United States that thinks all brown people are Indian. But if by chance I am wrong, then fuck them.
What's happening? What is it? Look at the size of it!
Why do you think you deserve a high five for pronouncing my name correctly?
Most likely it's because you have a name that's spelt like someone smacked their head against a keyboard and called it good enough. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if this charlatan had a typical Western name, like Karen.
Why do you think including diversity in the workplace reduces the quality of work? I thought you thought we were all nerds.
First off, even if we all thought that, and it was always true, nerds don't always make the best employees. Second, forced diversity means intentionally discriminating against whites just so a company can look less bigoted to the anti-freedom mobs. With nearly every single job that exists, the race of a person is 100% irrelevant. But I encourage you, please, tell me why someone's race is relevant to being a janitor or an accountant or anything else that actually matters. Pretending that skin color is necessary for hiring is a handicap against the company and the employees. I've got a perfect example right here. About 2 years ago, the place I work at needed to hire 3 more employees for my department. But since it's woke as an Antifa member with Starbucks coffee, we had to cancel and schedule another hiring process because the highly qualified people who did apply for the position were all white. Our department had to suffer being shorthanded by 2, plus lacking an official manager because the higher-ups wanted a non-white to apply. It's ridiculous.
Why do you think it's okay to call me exotic?
Because it's a word. Stop complaining about trivial things.
Damn it, what the hell is wrong with these chicks?
I mean, technically we're the largest part of the world population, so shouldn't white people be exotic?
You do know that exotic doesn't mean rare, correct? Well, then again, this is a leftist I'm responding to. I wouldn't be surprised if this dork has never read a dictionary a day in his life. But I have. So here you go, I'll help him out.
Why do you think I can't see properly? Do you really think my eyes are that small?
While I've never thought that about Asians, I could see someone who does think this also tying it to the bad driver stereotype.
How much signal I need to cut across 8 lane? None? I turn now. Good luck, everybody else!
But then again, I only made that statement so I could use that clip.
Why is it weird when all Asian people hang out, but it's fine when all white people hang out?
It's only weird that you think any white person cares about this. I wouldn't be surprised if y'all mimicked this concept from the Black Questions for Whites video without giving a fig about whether or not it applied to y'all as well.
So tell me, what does a sunburn feel like?
Go out and experience it for yourself. Being Asian doesn't make you immune to sunburns, and you know that, you racist bitch.
Why do you keep trying to justify yellow fever?
I don't know why they use fever for all these things. It's not a disease, it's just
You want happy ending?
What?
I don't know if there's any of us that try to justify liking Asian happy endings.
What's going on here?
Happy ending!
No matter how much some of us prefer Asians to whites when it comes to said happy endings.
No!
A wrist massage, you get the egg roll. Happy ending!
It's good.
The fever label came from a pun used in a play that was written in the 80s, or maybe the 70s, with part of the joke being rooted in an actual disease called yellow fever.
Why are we being stereotyped as cheap or stingy? Maybe I'm just cost efficient.
When I made my original response a few years ago, I said that the only group I knew of with this label was the Jews and why this was. But now I think it may tie into the stereotype that Asian parents want their kids to either enter a wealthy occupation or marry someone else who's already wealthy. This is rooted in a somewhat true concept that some circles in Asia do push for these things, as well as other groups around the world. To me, this isn't enough for me to think of Asians as being stingy or cost efficient.
Why do you think all Asian people are smart? I mean, when I was in high school, there was a Korean valedictorian. No, actually, there was an Indian valedictorian. Damn it. I guess you guys are right. Asians are smart.
I think it ties to a similar reason why feminists think all men rule all women under a patriarchy. Complainers only see what's above them and never below. For any whites who think all Asians are smart, it may have something to do with seeing them tending to kick academic ass while in college. I don't know. However, I am going to tap into a point I made earlier in this video, anime. I've been watching anime for decades now, and there are plenty of unsmart characters. Some of my all-time favorite examples include Gowry from The Slayers, Tomo from Azumanga Daioh, and Kaneko from Maria Holic. Two of the most iconic anime characters of all time are also quite stupid, Goku and Sailor Moon. And this idea continues on in anime today. One popular example among anime fans comes from a show called The Quintessential Quintuplets, in which 5 high school girls are all stupid and in need of a tutor. Point being, not all Asians are smart, and I know that. Why don't you leftist plebeians know that not all whites are dumb racists? Oh wait, if you knew that, you wouldn't be leftist puppets.
Oh boy, puppets!
Have you tried that new white people restaurant? There's like a mayonnaise dish that is so mayonnaise-y.
Sadly enough, I still think this was the closest thing to a funny joke in the entirety of this series. Now that this is done, I'm going to polish my privileged stick to some animated Paizuri content just because I can. Thanks for watching, and never forget, if you abuse alcohol, it will abuse you back.